Boy, oh boy, I tell you. Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? You know, it was only a day ago that I just did a video talking about a potential fight that Richard Schaefer wanted to put together, which is Johnny Gonzalez against Gary Russell Jr. But if you guys remember in that video that I did, I said, but we have to see if Johnny Gonzalez is willing to get in the ring with Gary Russell. Because it was not too long ago that I also did a video about Robert Guerrero turning down a potential fight with Keith Thurman. It was the same situation. Richard Schaefer, he said, man, I really want to put together this fight. It would be a great fight. I'm talking about Guerrero versus Keith Thurman. And we already seen that Robert Guerrero, he wanted no part of that fight. Which brings me back to present day, where I was reading this article just about an hour ago that basically says Gonzalez, he wants every fight but the Gary Russell fight, right? Now keep in mind, don't be so naive to think that Gonzalez didn't know that Richard Schaefer was telling the whole world that I want to make Gonzalez versus Russell next. He knows this shit. Of course he knows this. Hey guys, as I'm making this video right now, new stories are coming in. So I just found out right now that Abner Mares, he just elected to exercise his rematch clause and fight Johnny Gonzalez immediately. But before I give my thoughts on that, I want to talk a little bit more about this Gary Russell, Gonzalez, Richard Schaefer situation. Because not only did that article just come out with Abner Mares exercising a rematch, but also there was another new article that had just came out after I had just read that Johnny Gonzalez was calling out other fighters, every other fighter except for Gary Russell. Now I find out there's another article where the headline reads, Johnny Gonzalez won't fight Gary Russell for short money. Now, guys, this is a situation where you have to really read between the lines. And I'm really good at doing this. I'm really good at paying attention to detail that a lot of people, they don't pay attention to. Or maybe some people just don't want to pay attention to, right? Now, it was only a few hours ago that Johnny Gonzalez and Team Gonzalez, they were very eager to tell the world who they wanted to fight, right? But keep in mind, here's that small little detail that people don't pay attention to. Notice when Johnny Gonzalez is talking about fighting Leo Santa Cruz, Nonito Donaire, Mikey Garcia, and whoever else it is, when he's talking about them, notice he doesn't bring up money at all. He doesn't bring up money at all. Now I'm going to quote you exactly what he said in this article. He said, quote, if they want me to fight Gary Russell, they're going to have to give me some serious money. Now, I don't know about you, but comments like that always remind me of, like I say, back in the day when I used to always hear my older cousins and stuff like that say stuff like, hey man, would you get in the ring with Mike Tyson for $1 million? And they'd be like, hell yeah, he could knock me the fuck out for $1 million. Shit, as long as I survive the knockout and I'm still alive, it'll be well worth it to get in the ring with that motherfucker for $1 million, right? This is what we used to hear a lot of times back in the day. So when it comes to Leo Santa Cruz and everyone else, money ain't a problem. Oh, but when it comes to Gary Russell, aka Mike Tyson, you're gonna have to give me some serious money if I'm getting in the ring with that man. This is what Johnny Gonzalez is saying. And understand something, guys. This is not just Johnny Gonzalez trying to avoid a Gary Russell Jr. bout. This also has something to do with the brains of the operation. And you know who that is, right? That's Nacho Beristain. I talked about this when Nacho Beristain was trying to avoid having his charge, Juan Marquez, fight Tim Bradley. When he kept saying, oh, we don't want that fight. We don't want that fight. It's a stinky fight and this and that and all of that, right? All of a sudden, Team Marquez, they see Tim Bradley look vulnerable in the Provodnikov fight. And now it's a done deal. And now they're fighting against each other. I told you guys when I was talking about that whole situation, the way Nacho was trying his best to avoid a Marquez fight, you know, after the Pacquiao fight, I told you guys that Nacho is not like a typical dumb, aggressive trainer, right? Nacho is the opposite. He's not teaching fighters to go in there and fight dumb, just run right into punches and hit, if you get hit 5 times, hit him 8 times and, et cetera, et cetera. This is not Nacho. Nacho is a more intelligent trainer. Usually, an intelligent trainer or even an intelligent fighter, they can tell when an opponent is also an intelligent fighter. So what do? They take precautions when they think about fighting that certain fighter. Nacho Beristain, he fucking knows boxing. So Nacho knows, just like I know, that Gary Russell is a special fucking talent, right? And he knows that his fighter, Johnny Gonzalez, would have a far better chance beating someone like a Mikey Garcia, especially a Leo Santa Cruz, right? Or whoever else they are aiming to fight against, I should say. Once again, guys, the truth will always reveal itself. I mean, just think about the irony of what's going on right now. Johnny Gonzalez is willing to fight fighters that have already became champions without asking for any extra money. But when it comes to Gary Russell, the guy who's known for fighting to-be-announced opponents, this is the guy you decide you need extra money to fight? Come on, now something is wrong with this picture. Isn't this shit backwards? You would think that Johnny Gonzalez will be asking more money to fight Donaire, Leo Santa Cruz, Mikey Garcia, people who are already champions, people who have already proven something. Not Mr. To-be-announced Gary Russell. Once again, guys, this goes back to what I was telling you guys in the video I did just a couple days ago regarding Richard Schaefer wanting Gary Russell to fight Johnny Gonzalez. I told you guys in that video, a fighter does not need to beat some top 10 contender, some, undefeated fighter just to prove how good he is. If you really know your fucking boxing, you should be able to determine who's going to be a fucking great champion just by looking at how they fight, just by looking at how they adjust to when they fighting against these tomato cans or these guys that they're supposed to beat easy, right? Now, don't get me wrong. You're not supposed to always know who's going to be great, but I'm just saying you should have a good eye to where you know at least the majority of times who has the potential to be a pound-for-pound champion. And I have a pretty good eye for knowing things like this. This is why when I get comments like I got from one of my viewers the other day, and he was saying, well, yeah, we had the right to criticize Gary Russell for fighting so many, to be announced and taking so long to step up. But once again, this development with Johnny Gonzalez, it completely correlates with what I've been saying in the last couple of videos. Oh yeah, I'll fight that guy. I'll fight that guy. I'll fight that guy. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. You want me to fight Gary Russell? Oh no, you gotta give me more money to get in the ring with that motherfucking monster. Shit, if I'ma lose, I'ma be well compensated for it. Okay? Oh, Johnny boy, he knows good talent when he sees it, right? Like I said, you got, you had some people when is Gary Russell gonna step up? When is he gonna step up? And as soon as he tries to step up and fight for a title, you got the champion saying, oh, I need more money to fight that guy. Come on, man, we know what time it is. And I know I'm gonna get some prideful Gonzalez fans that's gonna tell me, he's not ducking Russell. He's doing it for this reason. He's doing it for this reason. He doesn't want to fight him for this reason, right? Any reason but the reason that makes the most common sense. You call out 3 fighters, you don't ask for money, and then this one fighter in particular, you want more money, and he's not even a champion. Come on, man. You can make as many excuses as you want, but deep down you know the truth. But your pride will not allow you to accept the truth. And that's really what it comes down to. I don't care what they told you about pride when you grew up. You're going to hear the damn truth when you listen to my videos. So anyway, let me get back into this development of Abner Mares electing to exercise his rematch clause. As you guys may have seen on a post-fight interview after Abner Mares lost, he said he was going to take a vacation, spend some time with his family. Well, according to the article, the very next day, he ended up calling Golden Boy and saying that he wanted the rematch right away. He said that he wants to be the first person to get a shot at Johnny Gonzalez before anyone else does. Okay? So, as I told you guys in the video that I just did, now I personally don't like Abner Mares for some really disturbing comments that he made. I told you guys about the comments that he made in my last video. But see, at the same time, I can give a person respect when he deserves it. I don't have to like Abner Mares to give him respect. And I give him respect for the fact that he wants an immediate rematch, because this could be very detrimental to his career if he loses his fight. If he loses a second time, you're talking about damn near going back to ESPN, going back to solo boxeo, if he were to lose a second fight against Johnny Gonzalez. So you got to give Abner Mares credit, because he's willing to put it all on the line to prove that he could beat this man without taking any tune-up bouts. So, we'll just have to see how it plays out. Because Abner Mares was knocked out so early, I don't think it will really affect him in a rematch. Don't get me wrong, he can still be a little gun shy. The thought of being knocked out will still be in his head. I'm just saying I don't think he's a shot fighter yet. All right, now he gets a couple more knockout losses and he will be. But anyway, I may or may not talk a little bit more about this fight once the fight gets signed. So that's my thoughts on this situation, guys. I'm on to the next one.